Okay, so tonight for dinner, this is a midweek meal, I'm going to make a tofu katsu curry. Now, I have been doing slimming meal for a little bit and I'm trying to be giving my syns. So where normally I would breadcrumb my tofu and have them in like triangles or fingers, today I'm not going to because I'm going to keep my syns down low because I've got weigh in tomorrow. So I've just fry lighted the tofu. I've just cut them into little cubes. This tofu that I prefer, which is free on slimming mode if you are following that. If you're not, just ignore the slimming mode bits. It's still really nice without having to worry about being a diet food. So just fry light it, but if you want to do traditional one, you usually cut it into fingers or triangles, and then usually just put it breadcrumb it and then fry it. So we're trying to be good today. So these are going to go in the air fryer until they're crispy, just to give a bit of texture more than anything. Okay, so I'm hoping the background noise of the air fryer isn't too overpowering, so I do apologise. Now I've just used some fry light on my frying pan. I'm just going to fry some onions. So just put those in there. Some carrots. I'll just chunky cut them in because I'm obviously going to puree this to make the sauce, so I'm not really worried about cutting too finely. I've got some garlic. I think it's about 3 decent sized cloves of garlic and some ginger. So I did grate the ginger, pop that in to the frying pan. So I'm just going to give that a stir. Get that going. Okay, so I'm going to add about 500 ml of chicken stock. Just the water. I use the vegan oxide, the chicken ones. So just put that in there and let that simmer away. Okay, so we're going to use some coconut milk. Some people do, some people don't. Personally, I like coconut milk. I'm using this one from the car. And if you are following Slimming World, it's 3.5 cents for 100 mils. So the rest of that I'll just section and put in the freezer. So put 100 mils in that. But obviously, if you're not and you like it creamy coconut, you go for it. So this evening, I'm trying to keep my symptoms down because I do have weigh in tomorrow, and I had a couple of nights out. So trying to be as good as I can. 1 tablespoon of curry powder. I'm just using a medium curry powder, and you want about 4 teaspoons, and I'm very good at measuring, of soy sauce, and a good sort of tablespoon of tomato puree. So you can put that all in your pan, and just want to really just let that simmer so that the carrots cook down. So they're a point that you can then puree it. So I'll say what I do with my leftovers, I hate waste. So I just put these in an ice cube tray, but coconut milk, put those, when they freeze, I put them in the bag in the freezer. And then when you want to put stuff in, you just grab a couple of cubes out. It makes life really easy actually. I've got none in the freezer today, so I've opened up a new can. But I quite often, you can see everything it's saying actually, I quite often do lots of things, just make it easier. So any sort of sauces, I only use half of them, pestos, that type of thing, I always freeze them. And I've got a freezer full of little cubes if I want something quick and easy, and it's just me I'm cooking for. And that goes with the tofu. So I buy the extra large packet of these. There's too much for just me. I'm the only person in this house that actually likes tofu, apart from the dog. Weirdly, the dog loves it. So I just like slice off what I want that day, and then I will either keep it in the fridge in its fluid in an airtight container if I'm going to have it in the next couple of days. If not, I'll chop it up, stick it in a freezer bag, and have it in the freezer. Sometimes I'll marinate it, put it in the freezer so that it's a quick grab meal if need be. So while it's all cooking away, I'm going to cook myself some rice. I only have Jasmine rice tonight. If you are doing similar, it's 1.5 cents. It's packed. I scan that on the app. That seems quite a good value because the coconut version is 5.5 cents. So where normally I would probably have that, I'm going to have the lower one. But yeah. I mean, obviously, if you do want to send rice at all, rice is free on Slimming World if you cook it yourself. I cannot cook rice. So I squish my rice into this. I like to make my food look pretty. Makes me feel like I'm eating better than I probably am. Okay, so I'm going to put my tofu in so it's a little bit crispier. And then my sauce. So I just pureed the sauce. You can add a little bit. I did add a splash of water to this because it was a little bit too thick. So, I mean, have it to your consistency. I quite like mine thick. I'm probably not going to use all of that. So that, and then I just like to use like a Japanese type salad, I suppose. So it's just spring onions, carrots, and cucumber, finely sliced, and then a little bit of chilli seeds. Plump that on top with a little bit of mint, and that's it. That's my Slim and Wild Katsu curry, which came in at, I can't remember how many cents it was now. So it was 1.5 cents for the rice and 3.5 for the milk, coconut milk. So it comes in at 6 cents, and there's still some left over. So technically, it's not even all of those cents. So if you are following, that's what it is. I've sent all my sins today, so I can have a really hearty meal. It's horrible outside, raining, so I wanted something really warming, and this would fit the bill nicely. So hopefully you found it easy to follow and enjoy.